Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to this video today. As you can see in front of me, we are long hauling today. We've got the British Airways 777, we're on the ground here at London Gatwick, and we are actually going to shadow a real world flight, so we're a little bit cut for time. But we are actually doing this British Airways 777-200 series flight, 200 series aircraft, sorry, for this flight today to New York JFK. Okay, so obviously, as you can see, 777, we are actually scheduled to depart in about half an hour, so we better start getting the ball rolling. And what we're going to do is we're going to get all the ETOPs programmed in correctly, and we're going to do it all properly today. We are BA2273, that's the call sign and the flight number, so it's both the same here at the minute. And obviously, as you can see, this route is rather new. It's about a year old at Gatwick. This is a newish route for the 777 fleet at Gatwick. They've rarely actually flew to New York, mainly left that to Heathrow and the code shares, but they decided to open it up at Gatwick, and now we are flying that route today. So, usual procedures, we're going to get all the boarding completed, everything sort of done regarding that. We're going to get all the refuelling and payload also sorted, and we're also going to hopefully get to New York today in about 7 hours and 10 minutes. Cruising, well, we are step climbing today. That's that is what we're actually going to look at the step climbs just now. We're step climbing today. We're certainly out of Gatwick, 36,000, 38,000, and that is it for today. So we're actually a little bit heavy today, in fact. So there's a fuel and zero fuel weights. We're going to put all that in. So let's get to the flight deck and let's start setting up. Welcome to the flight deck, British Airways 777 today. So we've got all the ground connections as required, and the doors, we can sort that out in just a second. What we're going to do is the battery can come on, the external powers can also now come on. A bit of sound there. ADIRU coming on, and the signal signs can also come on for the sake of this. Nav lights on, leave the note, logo and wing off. That's all okay. No need for the packs because we've got ground air connected, like air conditioning units connected through the jetway. So when all the FMCs and the aircraft loads up, what the first few things we're going to do is we're going to get into the FMC. First things first, I'm going to sort the fuel out. But to do the fuel, I am going to come down to this here. We're going to go to FS actions. We're going to go to payload, after fuel. Sorry, we'll load for fuel first. So we are taking today, according to PFPX, we are taking 49.9 tons with the rats with 52,785. So 52.3 tons really, and we can load that in like so. And our payload today, our zero fuel weight is 201.7 is the payload. Brilliant. So we'll return that. We can return that, and I'm happy now to go to the doors. And if we go to request catering service, we can request the catering service, and we can open up all the cargo doors now. In the process of that as well, get them open, and we will need to disarm that door and disarm that door, because I know they're the two that the catering service come to, and I know that we need to disarm and disarm them because I know that that's going to aid our boarding procedure. So we will know when the catering service is en route because we'll get a sort of beep. You'll hear a beep. Ignore the nav data out of date. IRS position is Echo Golf Kilo Kilo today. The gate doesn't work, so we'll just go like so. And we're flying from Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to JFK. Like I said, the flight number is BA2273 or Speedbird 2273 today, and we will be departing on 26 left. And it is according to PFPX. Get that route up quickly. Let's get the route up 1 second. So we're looking at the Novam departure, which is the new departure at Gatwick. So it's the Novam 1 X-ray departure. We can execute that in the routes, and that sounds like the catering services have just arrived. So we'll open up them catering doors. So Novma, from Novma we are heading Lima 620 to Southampton. So Lima 620 to Southampton. After Southampton it is, I believe, November 19 to Adikik. Yes, that was pronounced. Is it KIK or... yeah, it's KIK. Sorry, just getting the waypoints that we mixed up there. That can go in like so, and then we're looking at Lima 22 to Mopat. So Lima 22 to Mopat, and then from Mopat we are looking for direct to Tobor, and then we're going to enter our Atlantic crossing. So Tobor, and then we're looking at 5320 north, so 5320 north. After 5320 north we're looking at 5330 north, so 5330 north. From 5330 north we're looking for 5240 north, so 5240 north, and then we're looking at 5050 north, and then that should be the end of our Atlantic crossing with the exit point of Elsa. So Echo Lima Sierra India Romeo Elsa. From Elsa it's November 316 Alpha, so November 316 Alpha. From November 316 Alpha we're looking for Tusky, and then a direct to Plim, so Tusky, and then direct to Plim, and then it's the Departure free arrival, so PLYMM, so PLYMM, and then activate that. Then we're looking at the minute, we're scheduled for 31 right. I will double check that when we are in the cruise, but we'll put it in now. ILS 31 right, and it's Departure, which isn't even there. It's Departure 31 Bravo arrival, there we go, and the transition is Plim, which we've already got in the flat plan. So that's brilliant. We'll execute that. That beep means that the catering service has been completed, so we'll close the required catering doors and we will now request boarding, so that's something that can start straight away, and we'll arm them doors. So, init reference page, the zero fuel weight remains the same, 201.7. The reserve fuel today, we are taking regarding the reserves, according to my flight plan, 3.182, so 3.182, 3.2, cruising at 36,000 feet, step into 38, cross index of 60. So that's brilliant. Thrust limitations today, we're going to go 48 degrees on the D rate, which is correct, climb 1 power, so we're a little bit of a D-rated climb out of Gatwick, but we are okay to do so. Flight 5 for departure with a centre of gravity trim of 3.0. We can't set the trim yet because we have no hydraulics at this moment in time. 160 is our V2 speed. That can go in like so. I can have the flight director. After departure at Gatwick it's 5,000 feet, and we'll recycle runway heading there. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to set up our ETOPs. So, route page, route 2, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to K JFK. Flight number remains the same, Speedbird, don't need to put the flight number in, but we'll do it anyway, Speedbird 2273. And next page, so we are, according to our flight plan, ETOPs today is pretty simple. It's entry at Shannon, so Echo India November 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 November. I actually just did that, I can't believe it, sorry. So our entrance is Shannon, and then from Shannon it is, oh, this is the bit I don't like. November 5305.0, so November 5305.0, West 022, so West 022, 45.2, 45.2 goes in like so. And then we are looking for Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, goes above that. We need that discontinuity in there. We needed to do that. We're going to execute that now, that's fine. So November 53002 is in, and then our exit is going to be November 51, November 51, 41.1, 41.1, West 041, so West 041, 58.4, so 58.4, and you go, and then our entrance diversion airport is St John's, which is Charlie Yankee Yankee Tango, and we have a destination airport of JFK. Brilliant, and lose that discontinuity. Now, don't activate that. We're going to come over to the second FMC. We're going to go route. Go to the route page there, and we'll go route 2. loading route 2, and I will go route 1 on the first FMC. So we're actually loading on the first FMC. We're going to follow the first FMC here. Just do this that, and hectopascals this side as well. And then if we come to the first officer's FMC and go to plan legs, it should actually start to tell you. There we go, it gives you all the alternates. So we go to alternates, we'll request our alternates for the route, and then it should give us more alternates. Basically what this is our ETOPs, so it's we'll finish putting the ETOPs in just a second, with just a few fixed rings, which we will do over the airports. So ATC uplink, got to accept that, that's fine. Fix, we're looking at Kilo, no we're not, looking at Shannon, and our distance is going to be 406 miles. That is the engine, so if you're in that 406 mile ring, that's the aircraft sort of distance it can go on one engine, I believe. So that's going to be 406 miles. So if you're in that 406 mile ring at Shannon, then, well, then you're going to be alright, hopefully. And then we'll put St John's is in, that's 406 as well. I believe that is correct. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll go back to the fixed page, and in fact on the fixed page we'll also put in some Gatwick rings for our departure. 079 on the bearing, and we'll go 5 miles, and we'll go 259, and we'll go 10 miles. We get a 5 mile and a 10 mile ring with the ILS radial in, just in case we have any issues at Gatwick. We'll come back to the airfield and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's about it regarding the FMC. The takeoff speeds are in, the alternates are in, the ETOPs has been set up, so I'll just show you a bit more of a rough idea of how that works. Is if you zoom right out, you see the Shannon ring there. We're actually in the Shannon ring as it speaks. So we go to, it's a bit hard to sort of explain it to you now because we're actually sort of not over the Atlantic, we're on mainland England, so it's a little bit difficult. But if you're over the Atlantic and you have an issue as such, it gives you them sort of, it will give us in this FMC here, it will give you the direct two waypoints to get you to the end of the nat track and to the airport. So basically you have an engine failure and we need to divert to St John's, or St John's, it's because direct direct to November 51041. So that's how that works basically. It's a little bit, it's not difficult, it's just a little bit confusing, and I think obviously haven't followed things correctly at some point probably. If I have missed something, obviously please do let me know. But for now, that is going to be enough to get us across the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm actually going to load up the checklist now, and we'll follow the checklist while the boarding is completing. So checklists, pre-flight checklist, oxygen is tested 100%. Oxygen tested 100%. The flight instruments are checked. The heading altimeter is set 1004. We've got 259 runway heading 5,000 feet after departure, and our V2 speed is in. That's correct. That is fine. And we have to set the parking brake to move on. Set the parking brake is set. Brilliant. Okay. Checklist reset. Checklist override. Normal menu. Pre-flights. Checklist. Oxygen tested. Brilliant. Normal. Before start checklist is the next checklist. We don't need that at the minute. That's fine. Brilliant. Okay, so that's about it really. We're ready here at Gatwick to start the flight across the Atlantic to New York. There's not really much else we can do now until the boarding has been completed, so all that's left myself to say really is we'll be back very, very shortly. Okay then, so welcome back. We're going to put the auto brake to RCO, and the final few cargo loading is just going on. So we'll arm the doors that are required, and we'll lose the jetway now, and then the next thing is just the cargo doors, but there's one more load of cargo just to go on, and then we should be ready for our push and start. We are about, the real world aircraft leaves in about 3 or 4 minutes, or pushes back in 3 or 4 minutes, so we are technically looking like we could do this. So we're going to start the APU now, and we'll go from there. Wait for the APU to start up, and then we should be all good. Fuel pump can come on. That one fuel pump, sorry, can come on. Okay. Just do a quick TCAS test while we're at it. Just waiting for the APU to start, and then we can just lose the ground power and ground connections and stuff. So ensure the parking brake is set, which it is.
TCAS test.
Okay, so before start checklist in just a second as well. Brilliant, APU is running and the cargo has been completed, so we can close the cargo doors and we can now go ground connections, or lose the air conditioning unit, use the air start unit. To be fair, we can lose it all now. Brilliant, okay. So running completely off the APU now. We are actually ready for the push and start, so we will request that. It's going to be a nose right, tail left is what we wanted. Brilliant. And the beacon light can come on now. Just ensure we've lost the jetway prior to... Yeah, we have lost the jetway. So beacon light can come on. And the hydraulics coming on for engine start. Fuel pumps can also come on. Emergency lights are armed. Forgot to do that prior. That's fine. Brilliant. Okay.
We're ready for pushback.
4 side checklist. Flight deck door is closed and locked. The MCP is set. V2 160 heading select, and the altitude set. Initial departure altitude. Takeoff speeds. Our takeoff speeds are V1.149. Rotate 154. V2 160. Our CDU pre-flight is completed. The trim is set of 3.0 units. Let's just set that. There you go, trim set 3.0 units, taxi and takeoff briefing is being completed. Normal. Okay, before taxi checklist is the next one.
Bypass bin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Release the brakes, start number 2.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Start number 2. So we're now looking for the no. Didn't want the air, but we'll give it some fuel anyway. I'm just trying to find the... Just looking at what displays we've got here. 1 second, people. Doors are closed, gears, flight controls, nav, comms, checklists. Okay, that's fine. Engine. There you go. That's what I wanted. I was just looking at what displays we had. That's all. My apologies. Okay, so the starter cut out on number 2. Number 2 is now stabilising. Wait for him to say set the parking brake, and we'll start number 1. Short taxi out 26 left, a little bit please it's not 08 right, because if it was 08 right that could be a little bit nasty. You should say set the parking brake any minute now and stop the pushback, but for some reason he's carrying on. There we go, set the parking brake and select mode selector to start number 1. Waiting for that M1 to rise, sorry N2 to rise between 15 to 20, and then we will inject some fuel and then we ensure that the ignition and everything is running stable. So there we go, 19, give it some fuel and we'll just keep our eye on the upper display here and ensure that the ignition process happens. safely. M1 will start to rise about 4 to 5 M1, and then we'll have some ignition. So we've just gone past 5, we should be getting an ignition anytime soon. There we go, brilliant.
Unlocking gear.
The engine is igniting, the engine has officially started there, brilliant, okay.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, so as that stabilises, we're going to just ensure that everything is required. There's a starter cut out now, so that's okay. When that backup generator for left comes to the off light comes off, we're okay to turn the APU off, and we'll run from there. So let's go off now. Let's shut down the APU. APU hasn't been running too long, so it isn't that warm. Packs can also come on now. We'll give the cabin some air.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Left is clear, right is clear, it's perfect. We'll put a taxi light on when he goes, which is fine. Taxi light can come on. It's flap 5 for departure today, so that's flap 1, that's flap 5. So that is now stabilising, APU is now cooling down. We'll go to the flight controls, we'll do a quick flight controls check. So full left, full right, neutral rudder, full left, full right, and elevator. Brilliant stuff, okay. Checklists, before taxi checklist, the anti-ice is as required, recall is checked, the auto brake RTO, flight controls have been checked, the ground equipment is clear before taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist it's just flaps, brilliant, okay. Let's release the parking brake, slowly increase that throttle, looking for about 25-26%. Just to start the aircraft getting moving, it's increased that to about 27, but that's okay. So we've just started, keeping our eye on the second display here, just looking at the ground speed. We don't want to sort of go too fast, it is a big aircraft, we need to consider that on taxiing. And the real life aircraft is actually just taxiing out as we speak as well. I'm just going to double check that on flight radar. Yeah, it's actually taxiing out as well as we speak. Brilliant stuff. So we're actually bang on. If anything, we're actually bang on. Okay. Should check what we're landing at. If we're going fuel 8.6 tons we're landing with, that's fine. Just hoping the headwind across the Atlantic isn't nothing too bad. Well, if it's the headwind is bad, then it's just going to have to be a case of thinking of the advantage of the tailwind on the way home. Give the cabin crew a quick buzz. Cabin crew, thanks. That's seats of the batch, please. Thank you. Before takeoff checklist, flaps 5. Brilliant. Before takeoff checklist complete. That's the cabin ready. Brilliant stuff. The going to be a straight on straight on, so there's no holding short. T-gas can now come on. The turn off lights coming on. I'll leave the strobes off just for now. just going down to Alpha 2 now. Like I said, straight on via Alpha 1. There's nothing on the approach either, so that's fine. So we're clear on the approach, and we are perfect to line up. So the strobe lights can come on. Landing lights will hold out just for them. And they come, landing lights coming on.
Approaching 26 left.
Brilliant, okay. Let's get that centre line as best we can.
On runway 26 left.
So there we go. Look for about 50%. Wait for it to stable out. Toga. Wait for it. Thrust sets, 91%. Oh, my apologies, I just moved the throttle there. Go back into Toga. 100 knots crash check. Wait for the V1, cool. V1. Rotates. There we go, look for 15 degrees on the pitch, positive rate of climb, gear up. So 15 degrees there on the pitch, wait for about 500, wait for about 1,000 feet, sorry, before we hit autopilot. So there we go, just about to bust for 1,000 feet, autopilot on, flight level change in LNAV, and we'll now recycle the speed to 245, which is going to be my climbing speed before we get on to VNAV. Speed check, flap 1, straight after departure. Straight into the cloud. Lovely. Just give it an eye on that speed, and then the flaps can also then come up in just a second. Recycle that altitude as well now to, well, go to flight level 150 for now. And I'm happy to go flaps up. So flaps up, and that should be the after takeoff checklist completed in just a second. The flaps will illuminate green when they are up. Flaps up, brilliant. After takeoff checklist complete. Normal, the descent checklist is the next one. That's okay. There's no need now to worry about that. So it's going to be the. Well, look, you've got all the other automatic flight, anti-ice and rain, fire protection, engines APU, landing gear fault, hydraulics fault, fuel fault. Lovely. So our next one is actually going to be the descent checklist. That's going to be our next checklist. But for now, we can get rid of the checklist, and I'm happy to go to air in the cabin and ensure that the cabin's getting plenty of air, because if they weren't, there'd be a bit of an issue there, I think. But let's go through the cloud now, but let's go through flight level 6,000 feet, so we'll stand at the QNH and just ensure that that transition altitude is set correctly, which is not, so 6,000 can go in like so. What legs that? Because this is an American add-on aeroplane, obviously the company that make this add-on are American, so that's why it's transition altitude 80,000. So we've left clicked on the altitude to reset the autopilot, reset the FMC. In fact, it hasn't liked it, has it? There we go, we'll just get a direct 2 in there, and then hopefully it can start climbing in just a second. And if we've got to now delete that Gatwick fix, because it's going to give us a line that we don't really want, so we'll delete that. Takeoff was fine and safe, so it's fine. So we're just rocketing with that climb. Now look at that climb rate, it's incredible. This aircraft's climb rate is just insane. So there we go, we have departed from London Gatwick, and we have in fact now en route to New York. So the lights come off a little bit early, but it's okay, and we'll release the cabin crew. Although the passenger signs can remain on for now, because we're still climbing. But there we go, like I say, we're now en route to JFK.